Bobby, so what scripts are you guys using on the regular right now, and how are you navigating the market? I know it's shifting pretty quickly. So what are you seeing?
So first off, I think it's important not to predict where the market's going. I think you lose credibility by saying, I think it's going to do this. I think rates are going to go to 8 to 10%. Bullshit. It's not going to 8 to 10%. I can guarantee you that. And to say that to somebody, I mean, obviously that's a big prediction. My thoughts on the market, where things are going, when you look at rates and you look at, you keep hearing recession, even though people throw it around like they know what they're talking about, but it's 2 quarters in a row of negative GDP growth. And we just had a huge quarter of GDP growth. So I really don't understand why people keep talking about recession so much. It's almost like they're trying to tank the markets, just like they always do. So, it looks like the media industry is trying to push everything down. Bitcoin, a stock market, housing, they're trying to push it all down. But what people don't realize, in the last 12 months, 40% of the United States money supply was printed. 40%. So you got eggs, milk, cars, you name it. Everything is going up in value and costing more. So what makes people think that real estate values are going to crash when everything else is going up like this? Why would real estate crash? Now, if rates do go up to 8 to 10%, then yes, we will have some tough times. However, if we do hit a recession, what do you think is going to happen? The Fed's going to lower the rate and the rate will go down. And so I really don't believe, hell is coming. A lot of people do. But I think it's important to, when someone asks you, is it a good time to buy right now? I always say it really depends. Let's talk about your situation, because it's not a macro thing. You can't, if you lose all credibility when you say to somebody, yes, it's a great time to buy, because that's just the standard response that every realtor seems to do. And so it's critical to say, let's talk about your situation. Tell me about your current situation. Do you own? Do you rent? Are you, hold on one second. It's feedback here. One of my teammates in the other room, I could hear myself. So, so if they're renting, then how much are you paying in rent? And, what's your tax base look like? What are you paying in taxes? All those things. So you got to look at it from a macro situation. Plus, I'm always telling everybody, don't buy for a 2-year hold, buy for a 5 to 10-year hold on anything you buy. So it doesn't matter. Robert Allen has a great quote: you don't wait to buy real estate, you buy real estate and wait. And that always is true. If you bought a house in 2005 at the peak of the market, that house has now almost tripled. Okay. And here we are, 17 years later. So, I mean, it's not about, about timing the market, and rates are really low right now. So I think the critical thing to do is to be getting people into an adjustable rate mortgage, a 5, 7, or 10 year, because that's going to bring the rate down. And then I believe when we do hit a recession, if we do, then rates will come back down lower to where they are now. And so that's a huge thing. On the seller side, I mean, obviously you got, Mitch, you had a great line last week. I can't remember it, but it was something about, capturing your equity. A lot of people have made a lot of money, and then you also have to go into their tax situation. How much are they going to pay in taxes if they sell their house now? Or are they going to pay 0 in taxes because their gain isn't over 250 for single and 500 for married people? So, there's a lot of different things going on, but, I believe that the market's a lot better than most people think. We still are getting multiple offers. I got a listing in PB that has 6 offers on it and is about 60 or 70 grand over asking. Last week, we put one in escrow, 100 grand over asking. The problem that the real estate industry has right now is when agents are going in to get listings, they are getting steamrolled by the seller saying, I want this price. Well, ma'am, that price is 10% higher than the last comp. You are aware that they've raised the interest rates, right? And so now payments are now this for your house. And I think that's a really critical thing. You got to show people the payment that they're paying to buy their house, because most people will look at that payment and say, I would never pay that for my house. And so that will get them down a little bit on the price, in my opinion. So, I mean, we've been using the trade-in option a lot. That's giving people options. We're getting people pre-approved to buy a home first. You know, and I think it's just if a storm is coming, what you have to do is get people settled for the long haul. And that's the big key. Are you going to be able to live in this house for 5 years or more, is what I always tell every seller. And if they say yes, then great, don't sell, don't worry about it. You know, keep if you love the house, stay here. You know, but if you look at, you know, like especially empty nesters, you got kids graduating from school in the fall, might be a good time to go ahead and sell your house right now and get settled into a long-term fit for you, instead of waiting for the market to crash and then come back up again. And that could take 7 to 10 years to happen. And so, you know, we always kind of talk about that kind of stuff, but you know, I think, again, it's just, you got to really look at each individual, and that's the most important part. And then from circle prospecting, that's a huge thing right now. Everybody should be doing that. And then here's a little tip that everybody should be doing right now is call people up that are past buyer leads, whether they're 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, whatever, two years, doesn't matter. We've been putting everything into pawns in our CRM, and you know, having the agents call those pawns. And instead of calling and saying, did you buy, call, and the first question you ask is, you know, you basically say, you know, hey, this is Bobby Martins over here at eXp Realty. A while back, you reached out to us about some real estate, and I just wanted to find out, have you heard about the recent market shift? Okay. And again, you know, I don't believe we have truly had a market shift. We went from bananas to a normal seller's market. I mean, that's what's happening right now, but people are overreacting and getting really nervous, in my opinion, because of the dumpster fire administration that we have in Washington. It's making everybody nervous. It's making everybody freak out. Prices are going up everywhere because of incompetence. Okay. I think the fundamentals of our economy are strong, and especially here in San Diego. I mean, again, everything's local. You know, what is here is much different than in other cities, but San Diego's on the uptick. So I think it's important to show people what's going on, show them the stats. And then here's the last thing I'll leave you with is look into the millennial data that's out there. Millennials now are at 33 years old. And for the next 7 years, one of the biggest population groups are going to be at prime buying years. And this is why we have no inventory. Okay. So when you look at that, and then you look at, we don't have any inventory, and most of these millennials coming into the market, they don't have a house to offer. Your boomers have a house to offer the market, and then they're buying another one. So that's a wash. Okay. But your millennials are coming in and buying up everything. And unfortunately, they might end up getting a bag of bad goods. I mean, it might not end up very well for them if the market crashes, which would be very, very unfair. But again, there's a lot more money in the money supply out there than there was 12 months ago, 40%. So technically, everything should go up 40% in cost when you add all of this new money into the money supply. So, but of course, we're giving billions of that away to other countries instead of taking care of our own here. So that's it.
There he goes. He's preaching. See, he's on his milk box. That's it. I love it. But it is true. It's all in your mindset. So you're going to create the market in your mind. The market is what it is. We can't control the market. Bobby can't control it unless he runs out of hair dye. That's the only time he's going to control it. And the thing is that you have to understand the data, and you have to advise and guide people. You need to be in control of your buyers and sellers. You can't let the buyers and sellers control you. That's the big thing is, then you have buyers saying, oh, well, they're asking, $1 million for this house. I want to start off at 700,000. You have to educate them and really advise them instead of just writing it out.